Hey, very good Wednesday afternoon to you, and thank you so much for joining us. I'm Kyle Bosch, taking a live look right now on our Storm Team Skycam network. You can see the clouds have rolled into Fargo, maybe bringing a little bit of rain as well. Probably want to grab the umbrella if you're about to head out for lunch in many places here in the valley. That's why we want to get a check right away with meteorologist Lisa Green, who's got a first look at our Wednesday afternoon forecast.
Yeah, we lost that sunshine very quickly this morning. The clouds rolled in and now the rain showers too. The fortunate thing is that the severe part of these storms has really dived south. We're looking at a severe thunderstorm warning in eastern parts of South Dakota. That's where the elements for severe storms are greater. We're seeing a better environment for that. However, there are still some storms in the valley up north. We've got some lightning and some heavy downpours embedded in this area of rain approaching Hallock right now, and also Grafton about to see a heavy little burst of rain moving in just in time for your lunch hour. And Fargo, we've had a little light rain. Fergus Falls more for you, and down toward Wheaton as well. And there are a little bit stronger storms just on the edge of this that we're keeping an eye on, including in the Ellendale area. There is still a threat for some stronger storms this afternoon. It's not looking as great as it was, so we'll talk more about that, the timing of them, and what you can expect as we see that weekend approaching in the extended planner as well.
All right, Lisa, we'll see you in a little bit. We continue to follow a tragic story in the Northern Valley today. 3 people dead after a crash near Grand Forks. It all happened around 7 last night on Highway 2 near the Grand Forks Airport. The North Dakota Highway Patrol says a van and semi collided and the van overturned, throwing several people out. 6 were taken to Altru Hospital. 3 others were killed. The names of the victims are not being released until their families can be told. Now, the Highway Patrol says both vehicles were headed in the same direction at the time of the crash. Troopers are still trying to figure out exactly why they hit. Deputies in Richland County are investigating a semi-train collision, the second to happen in the Southern Valley in as many days. It happened just outside Mantador yesterday afternoon. The driver says he didn't see the train coming because of a blind spot, but heard the horn as he was crossing the tracks. The train ended up hitting the back end of the semi-trailer. Fortunately, no one was hurt. A rollover crash in Walsh County has left 2 people hurt. North Dakota State Troopers say that 43-year-old Brian Bjerknes ran into the back of another vehicle that was pulling a trailer on Highway 81 in Grafton. That vehicle went off the road and overturned. 2 people inside it, Michael and Fran Kubal of Langdon, were taken to the Grafton Hospital. Bjerknes was not hurt in the crash. Developing for you this afternoon, the Minneapolis police officer who shot and killed an unarmed yoga teacher is refusing to talk about that deadly encounter. Investigators say Mohammed Noor has declined to be interviewed about the death of Justine Damon and can't be forced to make a statement. But the officer with him Saturday night is talking. Matthew Harity told investigators they were driving down an alley behind Damon's house with their squad car lights off, searching for a suspect, when they were startled by a loud bang. Immediately after, Damon approached the driver's side of the cruiser, and that's when Officer Noor shot her from the front passenger seat. Still, her family here and back in her native Australia are begging for more answers.
There are big questions left that we still have and that we hope to have answered soon. Why did Officer Noor draw and fire his gun? What happened from the time the officers arrived on the scene to when she was pronounced dead? Why don't we have footage from body cameras? Why were they not activated?
Minneapolis police say they are conducting a review of their body camera policy. In the meantime, investigators say they want to talk with any potential witnesses, including a man on his bicycle who apparently stopped at the scene while officers were attending to Damon. A deadly strain of E. coli has killed 1 Minnesota girl, and now her brother is fighting for his life. Tiffany Marish says her 2 children got sick earlier this month. They required several visits to the ER, then were rushed to the University of Minnesota Children's Hospital with kidney failure. The State Department of Health is now trying to figure out where and how the kids were exposed. A woman was brought to the hospital after a possible assault in Grand Forks. The police department responded to Bringwat Park just after 8 last night. Officers say a woman reported being attacked by another unknown woman. She was brought to Altru Hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Now, officers say the suspect has not yet been found, but they don't believe there's any threat to the public. If you do have any information about the case, you're asked to contact Grand Forks Police. A Fargo man has been arrested for DUI and could be facing more charges after a 17-year-old boy was killed in a rollover crash involving a stolen pickup. Troopers say 54-year-old Wilmer Nadeau was driving on I-94 just east of Jamestown yesterday morning when the vehicle he was in went off the road and rolled. A boy was inside and he was thrown from the pickup and died at the scene. Nadeau was taken to a hospital. He was later arrested for DUI after being released. With GOP plans to repeal and replace Obamacare on life support, Republican senators are headed to the White House today for a working lunch with President Trump to talk about the future of health care. Weijia Zhang has the latest details from Capitol Hill.
And then when we finally get a chance to repeal and replace, they don't take advantage of it.
Frustrated by the failing GOP health care bill, President Trump is stepping in. This morning he tweeted, "I will be having lunch at the White House today with Republican senators concerning health care. They must keep their promise to America." But moderates and conservatives can't agree on the best way to move forward. So Republican leaders are now moving on to a straight repeal of Obamacare with no replacement.
So until there's a vote, there's still an opportunity to come up with something which is common ground for enough folks to pass legislation.
Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell is moving forward with the bill, even though he does not have enough votes to pass it. He says it's at the request of the president and vice president.
This is the same legislation that a majority of the Senate voted to send to the president in 2015. Now we thankfully have a president in office who will sign it. So we should send it to him.
Democrats say they're standing by, waiting to work with Republicans to fix Obamacare.
They closed us off. They thought they could do it on their own. Now it's clear they can't, and the door is open again.
The vote on the repeal-only bill is supposed to happen early next week. Weijia Zhang, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Tomorrow is the deadline for the Trump administration to send out the next monthly round of Affordable Care Act subsidies, which help defray the cost of care for individuals with low incomes for insurance companies. Politico is reporting that the president has repeatedly told aides that he wants to end those subsidy payments. O.J. Simpson could soon be a free man. The former football star is set to make his first public appearance in 4 years tomorrow when he goes in front of the Nevada Parole Board. Simpson has served nearly 9 years for the robbery of 2 sports memorabilia dealers at a Las Vegas hotel. Legal experts say it is likely he will win release. If paroled, he could get out in October. Well, coming up later on your news at noon, how to protect your kids from getting head injuries while they're out riding their bikes and scooters this summer. But next, meteorologist Lisa Green is back with a closer look at that stormy forecast, our chances for rain this afternoon and later this week.